All my friends were invited to a wedding except me, and it turns out there was a reason why. I, 28 meters, used to have a friend group of about 10 people back when we were in middle and high school. When we all went off to college, we drifted apart. Nothing major happened to make us drift apart, just growing up and losing contact. We're all still friends, but we're not the talk all the time and hang out regularly friends, if that makes sense. Of course, some of us remained close and never lost contact with each other. One person from our friend group, Katie, 28 feet, is getting married in a few weeks. I didn't get an invitation, but I wasn't hurt. I understood as we didn't stay in contact. One day I was hanging out with my best friend, Barry, who was also in that friend group, and he mentioned that he received an invite and is going to the wedding. I was a little surprised, but I just told him I hoped he had a good time. He assumed I was also invited, so asked if I was going to attend or not, so I told him that I didn't get an invite. He said that was strange because everyone else from the group was going. 2 of them were plus ones as their partners had an invite if they didn't. But they were all going, and Katie knew it and even told Barry she was really happy that the gang was getting back together on her special day. I told Barry I was kinda hurt by that, but I didn't want to make a big deal of it. 2 days pass, Katie calls me, literally fuming that I was whining that I didn't get an invite to anyone who would listen. I told her that I wasn't and I explained to her what happened. She said that she's been getting texts and calls from other members of the group saying that she should have included me and wanted me to put a stop to it. I said I would do my best and that I was sorry that I caused her this trouble. She thanked me for the apology and hung up. I called Barry and asked him why he spread this around, but apparently he didn't mean to. He felt bad that I was hurt and he wanted to ask someone else from the group if they knew why I wasn't invited. They then spread it around and everyone wanted to know why Katie cut me out specifically, so they started asking her. So, I made a Facebook group chat with all of them and politely asked them to leave Katie alone. I told them that I was just hurt in the moment and vented about it to my best friend, and that's where it should have stayed. They all said okay and apologized to Katie. Yesterday Katie made a public Facebook post ranting about me without saying my name and said she had to hire security, and passed on a photo of me to them so that they make sure I didn't try to crash the wedding. This is something I would never do. The comments under the post were calling her out. She called me again and screamed at me that I was ruining her wedding. She told me that some of the friends are considering not going to the wedding now. And now I'm just wondering if I should have just kept my mouth shut or stood up for myself. Did I go too far this time? Why would she just leave me out and invite the others? Update 1. I finally got an answer to why I wasn't invited to the wedding. Turns out that someone else from the group, Sammy, has had a crush on me for years but has been too afraid to tell me or act on it. Sammy was in the bridal party of Katie's wedding and told Katie that she was finally going to make a move on me at the wedding, after she had taken care of her bridal duties. Katie didn't like this and thinks that I'm not good enough for Sammy, but she didn't say anything and decided to just not invite me, hoping Sammy dropped it. But when Sammy heard about me not being invited, she could smell the bullcrap and confronted Katie, knowing exactly why I wasn't invited, and said she wasn't sure she wanted to be in the bridal party after Katie would do something like this to her. That's when Katie called me and flipped out the first time. After the group chat where I asked them to stop, Sammy was so upset that she dropped out of the bridal party, and that prompted the second phone call from Katie, blowing me up. Sammy called me this afternoon and told me everything and apologized for all the crap that had happened. She then asked me out for dinner on the night of the wedding and I accepted. This might seem petty to go out on the night of the wedding, but it was Sammy's idea, and also Katie is bat crap crazy. I've blocked her now, so no more calls, hopefully. Update 2. The wedding day, and my date with Sammy is next weekend. Sammy is considering or joking that she will wear her bridesmaid dress to the date because she loves the color, she already paid for it and claims she looks fantastic in it. I'm a little worried that's too shoving it in Katie's face, but Sammy says she deserves it. Also, Katie actually sent me a letter in the mail apologizing and asking to unblock her so we can talk about this and heal the loose ends. I didn't unblock her. Sammy is completely certain that she's only trying to apologize so that I'll tell the other 4 friends who have dropped out of the wedding to attend it. Update 3. Our date went really well. She stayed over on the night, and we hung out the next day too. Out of the 10 people that were in that friend group, 4 went to the wedding. Sammy has Katie blocked on everything, but Katie has sent her 3 written letters trying to convince her to reconsider dropping out of the wedding, and she even showed up at Sammy's house twice to try in person. Sammy burned all 3 letters and didn't answer the door both times, but told Katie through the door the second time that if she didn't go away, she would call the cops. Katie called her an ungrateful skank and ran away. While the wedding was going on, the 3 friends at the wedding were leaking info to Sammy and I in a group chat. Katie replaced Sammy in the wedding party with another cousin in a dress that didn't match the others. Katie seemed happy throughout the wedding, and honestly, despite all this, I'm happy that she was happy at her wedding, or at least pretended to be happy, as Sammy said she might be doing. I'm glad this is all over and Sammy and I are starting something exciting.